we're always skeptical of somebody who doesn't tell us what it is that we need to hear.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we're skeptical of that person because we feel like they have something to say and they haven't said it. Right? And y'all know what I mean, right? If you know that you've been coming up short in a certain area, you know that you haven't been doing your best, you know that, there's something that needs to be said by somebody and they're not saying it, you're skeptical about that person. Because you're like, I know they should have said something about this and they didn't say it, so now I'm wondering what else they keeping back from me. What else are they withholding? Right? I know y'all feel me. Hello everyone, welcome back to the Zamots podcast where we focus on
faith,
family,
fitness,
finances, and friendships. Today I'm going to be reading from Romans chapter 14 verse 17. And it reads, "For the kingdom of God is not a matter of eating and drinking, but of righteousness, peace, and joy in the Holy Spirit. Because anyone who serves Christ in this way is pleasing to God and receives human approval." Amen.
Amen.
All right, family. So welcome back. Listen, if you are new to the channel, my wife and I like to answer questions from different card games. And today we have a card game called Tonight's Conversations. All right, so we're going to answer a couple questions from here. And the reason that we do this is so that you all can get more familiar with us, as well as hear our perspectives and our thoughts about some of the things that we're being asked. Right? It gives you a little more insight as to who we are. Okay, so let's see what the first question that you pull the first card.
What are your expectations of me
You never say hi?
Hey y'all.
Okay, read the question.
What are your expectations of me inside this relationship?
Expectations of you. I expect you to respect me.
Okay.
Yeah. That's my expectation of you inside this relationship.
I expect you to lead.
You expect me
to get your leadership from God so that you can lead.
Okay, that's good.
Okay.
Okay, next question. All right. It says, what was your first impression of me, and is it still the same? Tell the truth.
I was supposed to be asking you this question.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
Oh, wait. Okay, yeah. Let's see. You go ahead and answer.
Or me answer? Or me ask you?
Okay, you put a card and I answer first.
Yeah, what was your first impression of me, and is it still the same?
My first impression of you was a long time not long ago. I thought he was HOE, y'all.
That's the truth.
And is it still the same? No. I wouldn't have been with you if I still thought that.
And why did you think that, sweetheart? Let's tell the people.
Because you was tall, you was light skinned, you very much so was feeling yourself, and you're super friendly. So every time I turn around and look, it was somebody in your face. You was talking to some female. What you got to say about it?
I ain't got nothing to say.
Okay. What was your first impression of me, and is it still the same?
My first impression of you, sweetheart, was that you're,
I think that's a lie. Okay, hold
on. What's a lie? I didn't get my answer.
Not you. Oh. Let me backtrack my answer.
Okay.
Because that was from, after, working there, and then that's what people were saying.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what was given off.
Mm-hmm.
But my very first impression of you was, oh, that's who everybody talking about. Yeah, he fine.
That was her first impression.
Yeah, I thought oh yeah, he fine.
She thought I was attractive.
Yeah,
that was my first impression of you. That's what I was gonna say before you politely interrupted me.
Yeah, because I'm like that. Very first impression, that was it.
Yeah.
And I think really it was he got good hair. I don't like his hair.
Yeah, so mine was I thought you were very attractive, and you had a nice sculpture. And do I still think that? Absolutely. thinking even more now. Got more proof.
3 kids.
3 kids later. All right, so that's that. Excuse me. So that's that question. Let's go to the next one.
Fill in the blank. If we stay together for the remainder of our lives, would it be because of? Fill in the blank. If we stay together for the remainder of our lives, it will be because of blank.
It will be because of a commitment to each other.
Yeah. Marriage.
Oh, that's easier. Yeah, it'll be because of marriage. That was
So that's my answer.
Okay, so I'll say a commitment to each other, which is kind of the same.
That blank kind of small.
So it's supposed to be one word.
No, you don't say that.
All right, we're gonna do 2 more, y'all. So this one, and then we'll do 1 more after this one. Okay. So it says if our love was a food dish, what would it be and why?
Pasta.
If our love was a food dish, it would be pasta.
Yeah, pasta is something that's very romantic. It's shareable. It's delicious. You can get it in all types and forms. You receive love in different types and forms. You can get pasta in all types and forms.
Gotcha.
We both love pasta. Pasta is good. Pasta.
She likes pasta. If our love was a food dish, what would it be and why? I would say, if our love was a food dish, it would be lasagna.
Pasta.
No, it's not pasta. It's lasagna.
So it's a pasta.
No. Lasagna is lasagna. There's noodles in it. No, we don't need both. So it would be lasagna because it's multi-layered. It's delicious. It is warm. It is inviting.
It's pasta.
And yeah, I think those are all the adjectives I have to describe that.
Who would you say started our biggest fight? Explain.
Who started our biggest fight? Probably you. Yeah, probably you. What was our biggest fight?
Exactly. I'm trying to think. I'm like, you just came out with it was you. You started our biggest fight. I don't even know our biggest fight.
What was our biggest fight? We don't really fight. Like it's never been like.
I think our biggest fight is when I left the house, like when we stayed at McDaniel.
You left the house? Where you went?
To stay with my friend.
When you left the house? I done blocked it out of my mind because she got me twisted.
I did. I left the house with my bag.
You did?
Yes, and I ain't talked to you the whole day. Then nighttime, I love you.
Why?
Cause you pissed me off.
That wasn't our biggest fight. First of all, we haven't had many fights because there's no back and forth.
Well, they do be back and forth. It just don't.
No, not back and forth like arguing fights. No, it don't. No, it don't. You say what you gotta say. I say what I gotta say. There's no back and forth.
Okay.
So our biggest fight was probably when I came in the house and she had 6 of her friends.
That wasn't even a fight though.
It wasn't a fight, but I just remember it. It's on my mind.
Remember.
It's on my head. So she had about 6 of her friends on our bed.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, 6 friends that I've never seen before in my life.
Why?
I never seen not one of them.
Babe, now you lying.
I'm telling the story.
Now
it was 6
that was
of
around
them.
that entire summer.
No, it was 6 of them, all in the bed. I came home to get in the bed. I couldn't even get my own bed. And then I asked her, like, what's going on? What are you doing? Oh, nothing. We chilling. I kicked all of them out.
You didn't kick them
I
out.
did.
I kicked them out.
No, I told you that they had to go.
Which I kicked them out, but he told me I had to kick them out. It was no problem, no issue. Okay, I get how I understand how this look. You walking inside.
No, not understand how this looked. I don't like the way you saying that. I understand what you did. Say that.
No, you don't tell me what to say. The hell, okay. I'm giving it like.
So that was our biggest fight in my head. It wasn't even.
It wasn't even a fight.
It wasn't a fight, but in my head I was fighting. In my head I was saying some stuff. Okay, so, okay, all right. Let's get into the pod.
Who would you say started our big? Cause you answered, but I didn't answer.
You did. You said.
But I want to change my answer.
Okay. All right.
Let me see. What was our biggest fight? Yeah, I said that was our biggest fight. Not that one that he just said. That wasn't even no fight. He said what he said. I fixed it and moved accordingly. Just to give reference, we had a 1-bedroom. Okay, the TV. We had one TV. Only TV.
That's besides the point. It was 6 of them.
Okay.
In the bed.
It wasn't 6. It was 5.
Including you. That's 6.
5. It was in, and it was me. It was actually 4.
It looked like 6.
It was 4
There
people.
was no space on the bed.
4 people.
There was no space on the bed whatsoever.
And we also had a twin bed, so it wasn't even enough space in the bed for just us 2.
True enough. They had their shoes on.
That was just chilling
Like,
outside
what?
the bed.
I'm mad all over again.
Be for real.
Alright, so that wraps up the questions, y'all. We done with these questions. Alright, family. Good afternoon, good evening, good night, good morning, whenever you listening to this. Listen, I hope everybody's doing well. We wanted to discuss a extremely important topic that I think isn't talked about enough, and that's attitude, right? And how attitude makes all the difference in a person's life, right? You take 2 people that have similar situations, similar skill sets, similar background, same ethnicity, right? Same work ethic, but the person with the better attitude or the person with the more positive attitude is always going to finish before the person with the not so positive attitude. So I'll bring it home a little bit more. I work at Aldi currently. I'm an assistant store manager there, right? Shout out to Aldi. I remember one time that I was in line for a promotion. Well, it wasn't necessarily like I was in line for it, but there was a promotion, right, that was available. And it was me and another female. I don't want to name her because maybe she watches the podcast, that she knows who she is. But it was me and another female that were essentially like the candidates.
Who?
Another female that were the candidates for this position, and she was much more qualified than I because she had been with the company 2 or 3 years earlier, sooner than me, and she just had more training in certain areas than I did because she had been with the company longer. But long story short, I ended up being the one to get the promotion. And the reason was attitude. Okay, the reason was my attitude. I truly believe that. She, had a great work ethic, came in early, stayed late. She knew what she was doing. She knew the job. She had people skills. She had everything that you would need for that position that was coming up, but she didn't have the right attitude in terms of her approach towards life or her approach towards situations, right? See, your attitude makes all the difference in the world and how your life turns out ultimately. So I wanted to let you chime in, babe.
I think what affects the glass being full and half full is how somebody was raised. Like how you was raised and how you look at life, like how you are as a person, like whether you handle conflict good, whether you handle conflict bad, when you put in situations, do you swim or do you fight? Do you swim or sink? That it depends on the person that you are, and then Why are you laughing?
Swimming and fighting. Those are the two options.
No, swimming or sinking. You get what I'm saying? So, yeah.
Yeah, I think their childhood has a lot to do with it, and also just their self image. Right, if somebody has a negative self image about themselves, then they may approach life in a more pessimistic way. Um, versus somebody that has a positive self image, they may be um, more positive. They may be more optimistic about situations or people because they, what you see in yourself, you see in others, right? And that's flaws and all. So if you highlight the flaws in yourself, if you only see the flaws in yourself, then all you're gonna see when you look at others is those same flaws. Right? Now, on the contrary, if you see all of the good qualities that you have and you realize how good those qualities are, like honesty, like integrity, like, passion, love, joy, excitement, all of these things, you're gonna see that in other people as well. Or maybe you just attract those kind of people. I don't know, right? I ain't got it all figured out. But what I do know is certain people seem to live a certain life, and you can tell why they're living that life based on their attitude, right? Or based on how they approach life, or based on how they think, right? So, we got to understand that this world that we live in is mental, right? It's all a mental game, right? The Bible tells us that, we wrestle not against flesh and blood, right? But against spiritual forces. Okay, so it's the things that are in the unseen that really determine how our seen life turns out, right? So it's the spiritual aspect of life that's the most important and what we should spend the most time in trying to perfect. And I think there are a lot of people that have a hard time doing that. Again, just going back to the self-image, right? If somebody has a poor self-image, then they're gonna approach life in that way, right? They're gonna look at all the downside, all the negatives. They're gonna see the negatives in people, and that just is the world that they're living in, unfortunately.
Do you think that like the people that you have in your life affects your attitude as well?
Yeah.
Or the people that you surround yourself with?
Yeah, for sure. I think having the right people in your life is underrated. Right? People don't understand the importance of having the right people in your life. Right? We got to make sure that we're surrounding ourselves with people that are like-minded and people that think the way we do, or at least hang around people that are where we're trying to get to. Right? We don't want to hang out with people that are not doing anything with their life or aren't good people. Right? You want to hang out with people that are doing the right thing and share similar values as yourself.
Yeah. So I was actually talking to one of my friends about that, and I made the comment. I'm like, yeah, because I'll cut anybody off. Or I was saying, really, the conversation was, like our friendship has grown a lot over the years. Like we're both very hot-headed, so we clash a lot. And the conversation was, we know that now we've reached a point to where we communicate more and just come out and say it instead of like assuming. Both our personalities are very similar, so we were talking about just a situation to where I was like, yeah, I don't fool with that person no more. Like a lot of people I cut off. She was like, you cut me off a couple times. I'm like, yeah, because like if you don't service my life or like it's not beneficial to me, you gotta go. Yeah. Like you just gotta go because I'm not putting up with it. I was like, same with friends. I was like, really, like other people, like they're genuinely cut off because it's actions that's just like, you really can't be my friend if you're moving this way towards me. So whether friends or family, you would get cut off.
Absolutely.
Respectfully, if you know how to respect, or disrespectfully, if you don't know how to respect. Really, you gonna get cut off. Just like, I don't even have the energy to fuss and fight with nobody no more. I just stand up when I say, like, If I say this, you cross these boundaries, I'm gonna give you a chance, and then I'm gonna forgive you, but I don't have to have you in my circle. Like, I don't have to have you close to me because, like, what you doing or like the type of time that you're on or how you acting towards me isn't godly and it isn't of love. And that's not something that I can put myself in just because we're family or just
Right.
because I've known you for a long time or just because, you know, you've been a good friend.
Mm-hmm.
Just because you was a good friend in the past don't mean that you're a good friend from my current life or from my current situation. And I was just telling her, I'm like, as you grow, like you evolve and you learn and you know, you push yourself to different lengths depending on wherever you are in your life. I had recently wished my friend a happy birthday and she was like, oh, you know, I really want to like reconnect with you. Like, I know we've been slipping. She was like, I was like, yeah, girl, really, like, I don't really be hanging out with too many people because honestly, I don't have too much time or energy outside of my own life and my family. And it's nothing personal, but when you evolve into like the state that I am in my life right now, like, then will you understand, or you'll understand it when, you know, you actually are still being that friend close by my side and you're seeing everything I have going on.
Right.
Like, because a lot of other friends that I cut off, I feel like they seen it from a distance. So it's like, oh, you go to work, you know, you may cook, you may do this, you may do that. And I'm like, well,
They don't really understand.
they don't
It's deeper than
understand.
that.
Yeah, they don't understand from the time I wake up to the time I lay my head. Like,
Non-stop.
it's something or somebody pulling on me, you know, not in a negative way, but like,
no, it's a responsibility.
I'm at service from the time I open my eyes to the time I close my eyes, and that's, I feel like, something that not many people talk about, like in marriage and relationships. But anyway, she was just want to say, she was like, no, like, she was like, I love that, like, what you have going on, like, I see it, I understand it. She said, he was just saying, she was like, because she said it from the perspective of her mom and her dad. She was just like outside of them, you know, having to work, the next time that they were trying to make time for, you know, the kids. They were trying to make for time for each other. So making time for friends and family, especially when friends and family don't value that time, it's like, no. Like, a lot of people got cut off just off the simple fact of, you don't value my time.
The way I
and
do.
the area, not area, but you don't value my time or respect me for the woman that I am now. Like, I'm not, you know, single. I'm not, you know, we do have kids. Like, I don't have all this free time in the world. And the free time that I do have is very limited. And the free time that I give out, like, when you are in a relationship and when you are, you know, you do have a family, you have kids, and you have a job and you have a business, the time that I have is very limited. And 10 times out of 10, the time that I'm giving you, I'm taking from myself. So when I come together with somebody and they don't value that time,
it's like a slap in the face.
It's a slap in the face, and it shifts my attitude towards you because I'm taking it as you don't respect my time, you don't respect what I have going on because you haven't evolved mentally from the state that I met you in and the state that I'm in now.
Yeah, you said something that's, I think, extremely key. That's something that I'm still working on, and that's cutting people off when it's time to cut them off, right? I haven't always been good at that. In fact, I haven't been good at that at all because there have been plenty of people in my life that I should have cut off just based on, you know, us not having aligned values or, you know, me outgrowing them or just, you know, multiple reasons that I should have cut people off, but I didn't cut them off because of the foundation that our relationship had, right? Or how long we've had that friendship, or, you know, maybe some of the things that they may have did for me in the past. I just felt like I felt like I indebted to them in a way, right? Like I owed them my time and my friendship because, you know, they may have been of service to me in the past. And you really brought it to my attention that, listen, the debts have been paid, right? Really, the debts have been paid. Once you invest time in a relationship and you see that moving forward where you're going in your life, that the relationship that you guys have isn't serving you and it's not going to help you get to that next level, hey, we gotta cut ties. Okay, and it's, no disrespect. It's nothing against you. It's just, hey, you were somebody that was a part of my life for a season, right? You got two people that are part of your life. You got people that are a part of it for a season, and people that are a part of it for a reason, right? So the people that are a part of your life for a reason, they may not be as consistent. They may show up here and there, but they serve a purpose when they show up. But then you got the people that are in your life for a season, where maybe you guys were friends for 3 years, 5 years, however long it was, and then you outgrew them, and you had a vision for your life, and you want to take it to the next level, and you want to do major things, and they just don't see it, right? They're still stuck on what you guys used to do when you were younger, right? Or when your relationship was still fresh, and you're not on that anymore. Well, it's time to cut ties with those types of people, right? And I haven't been the best at doing that. But again, it just goes back to me wanting to please people, right? Which is something that I've struggled with for a really long time in my life. I don't struggle with it as much anymore. I think I'm getting to that place in my life to where I'm coming into who I am and understanding who I am and what I tolerate and what I don't tolerate. So I don't really struggle with people pleasing as much as I used to. But yeah, my whole life people pleasing has been like, it's been something that I struggle with because I don't want to stir up conflict. I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. Like, I love people, you know what I mean? So if I'm in a position to where I have to hurt somebody's feelings or I have to, cut them off or whatever the case may be, I'm always thinking like, dang, what are they going to think about me?
Yeah.
Or how is this going to affect, the relationship moving forward? How's it going to affect me moving forward?
Yeah.
So y'all feel me, right? There's somebody else on here that struggles with people pleasing and may have similar reasons. So
I think everyone does to a certain extent. Like, I would say my people pleasing.
I don't know, but it's some people that's just cutthroat. Like, they don't really.
Let's say this real quick. I would say, like, I'm one of the people that's considered a cutthroat person.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But in actuality, I'm not, because let me tell you why.
Okay.
I'm very honest.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very honest,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't like conflict or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same thing as you. However, my thing is, I choose to be very careful with the words that I say, because my thing is, I don't want to say something to somebody and they go home and they're pondering on what I said in a negative way.
Right.
So I am big on that. However, I'm not going to compromise coddling you or lying to you because I'm afraid that you're not gonna like me or you're gonna have something mean to say about me.
Right.
I don't want, my biggest thing is that I don't want to say something and it be taken out of context, and then it affects your life. Like, it affects you, because a lot of people don't realize, like, the words and the things that you say to people when they get in their car, when they're at home, like, certain words ponder on them. It sticks with them, and sometimes that's a seed that you sow into somebody's life. So I'm very intentional whenever I speak to somebody. I still speak firm. I still say, it is what needs to be said, but I study people. So every time I address somebody, the way that I say it, I don't say it the same. Like at work, the position that we are in, just being in management, and you have to manage over people. All my associates, I speak to all of them different. It comes off as, oh, everyone has the same thing. Deja's going to tell us the truth. She expects it to be done, and she's not accepting no excuses. That's it. She's nice. Oh, I can't wait to work with her. Like, I love working with Deja. That's the standard. Like, that comes out of everybody's mouth. However, when I go to A and say something, it's like, hey, I need you to speed up, okay? You taking a little while. How long it's gonna take? Do you got something going on? Are you okay? Oh yeah, blah blah blah. When I go to person B, okay, here's your list of items that you need to get done. You have until this time to get it done, okay? That's cool with you? That's something that you think you could do? Oh yeah. my approach is different, but my tonality and how I say it is still the same.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm not changing that just because, you know, you're a little soft-hearted and you're not used to somebody coming to you with assertiveness and confidence to lead or to say something. So I feel like my thing is my words and how I say it, because the person that we was just talking about that I told you be having me hot.
Mm-hmm.
As irritated as I be, I never lash out on him.
Yeah.
Never, not once, never lash out on him. I still like encourage him. I still coach him. I'm still very loving. I'm still very kind to him.
Mm-hmm.
I just have my own personal opinion about it. But because I've studied him and I know how he is, he can't handle me just brutally coming out telling him, you suck.
Right.
He can't handle that. Like, he will be, the little things that I tell him, I have in my phone. I did this. Yeah, I did that better. Like, you can tell that his version of that, he's a people pleaser.
Mm-hmm.
So pleasing me and doing a good job, it matters to him a whole lot. And when he goes home, that's all he's thinking about.
That's a fact.
I told him something 2 weeks ago. He's still talking about it. Like, just the coaching thing, but something as little as like, I was calm, encouraging him, very nice about it, but it's different. I feel like it's different versions of people pleaser, but I feel like everyone in some aspect, they're people pleasers.
Yeah.
Whether it's I solely want to please this person, I'm not going, I'm gonna compromise myself, my opinion, my self-will for the happiness of somebody else, or I'm a people pleaser to where it's like I'm very careful with my words, but I'm still gonna like the blunt people pleaser, and then the just straight out people pleaser.
Yeah, so I'm not the blunt people pleaser. I mean, I am now, but my whole life I haven't been the blunt people pleaser. I've been the one that's been willing to compromise the things that I say or how I say it, so that you don't feel some type of way. Why? Because I don't want to deal with no confrontation, right? Because I don't like confrontation. I don't like getting upset, because when I get upset, hey, none of us know what happens when we get upset, right? You're no longer in control when you're angry, right? And I don't like feeling out of control. That's why I don't like getting upset, right? So some people get upset, they get angry, and they black out, right? And they don't remember what they said or what they did. Like, why would I ever want to be in that situation? I don't want to live my life like that. So to avoid putting myself in those situations, I try to phrase my words, or maybe withhold some things that I should say. I have been like that in the past. Okay, I'm no longer like that, people. All right, I'm gonna tell you straight like it is, because I realize that telling the truth or not telling somebody the truth is I mean, you're doing them a disservice. You really don't love them if you're not telling them the truth. Yeah, we did. So you're doing somebody a disservice when you don't tell them the truth, right? And I don't want to be that person to be doing somebody a disservice. I actually wrote in my journal recently that, we're always skeptical of somebody who doesn't tell us what it is that we need to hear. Mm-hmm. Like, we're skeptical of that person because we feel like they have something to say and they haven't said it, right? And y'all know what I mean, right? If you know that you've been coming up short in a certain area, you know that you haven't been doing your best, you know that, there's something that needs to be said by somebody and they're not saying it, you're skeptical about that person. Because you're like, I know they should have said something about this and they didn't say it, so now I'm wondering what else they keeping back from me. What else are they withholding? Right? I know y'all feel me. I know y'all do. I know you feel me.
I feel you. Because I feel like the main thing that people desire in life is honesty and loyalty and love. Yeah. Like, if you my friend and I'm in the wrong and you can't tell me the truth, me personally, I don't want you as a friend. Like, absolutely. I'm not that type of person that wants somebody to just be a yes man to me. I want you to be able to encourage me. I want you to be able to say, hey, yeah, you was in the wrong about this situation. You could have handled that a little different and not change who I am.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you're a passive person, I'm more of an aggressive person. You trying to critique me in the way of, oh, well, you need to, be a little quieter and not so, assertive. I'm just an assertive person.
Right.
Even about stuff that I have absolutely no clue what I'm talking about, I will make you think that I know what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just because I have a lot of life experience in most situations, I'm able to relate to it, even if I don't have 110%, facts about, what I have, going on, or whatever it is that I'm talking about. So friendships, I feel like it affects your mood. It affects your attitude. If you are like a super passive aggressive person, I feel like when you're a light, you're gonna shine regardless. And when you have friends in your life that's really not supposed to be in your life, they're gonna try to dim that light, or they're gonna see a problem with your light.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's a difference when a friend is correcting you and you really need some help, or you really need that correction, and it's a different when a friend is just constantly like just judging you, or making you feel bad, or talking down on you, or just being a negative Nancy. They gotta go, because it's gonna eventually affect your attitude.
Yeah.
I remember us going through that. I'm just like, I would feel so bad for, not being able to hang out with friends, but a lot of people not knowing, like, I was going through postpartum depression. I was still trying to find myself. Like, I'm always that person that's considered like the super strong friend.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody called me for advice when I just got done crying or going through stuff, and I'm the type of person that I'm always push what I got going on to the side to make sure that you're okay, make sure you're straight.
Mm-hmm.
And I just felt like I didn't have people in my life to do the same for me.
That, yeah.
And it's just like when you at that point in your life, like you need that.
Mm-hmm.
Like you need that.
We all
like
do.
Yeah, so it's just like, it's either you're going to keep those people in your life and compromise, what you really want in friendships, or you're going to, cut ties and allow yourself to heal, and allow God to bring true, genuine friends in your life that can, help you and grow and motivate, and that you can relate to, and that you can, be freely happy about, being in a marriage and, having kids, just talking about like, just from my, standpoint.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like a lot of people, I felt that it was just like, oh, you go, like, they just throw off, like, oh, you married, you got kids, so I don't want to bother you. Like, I'm still me outside of that. You just can't hit me up same day. Like,
right.
Hey, let's do this.
We gotta plan accordingly.
Like, that's not how that works,
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people just felt like it was like an excuse. Oh, you got a family. Oh, you just want to be with family. And I do. Like, granted, I'd rather be with my family than to be out in these streets.
Mm-hmm.
Or if I'm out in these streets, I'd rather be doing it with my family. But, it's just the respect and the boundary that I have for my life now. Like, you can't hit me up same day and be like, hey, let's do this, da-da-da. Unless I'm absolutely free and I don't got nothing going on. But 10 times out of 10, I don't, because we plan our life,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But that's just my attitude towards it now. Like, I'm unapologetically just me, happy. My friends that understand it. Those that don't, you gotta go. So I'm not apologizing for the state and the phase and where my life is at this point, and where it's going to come. Like, I have a family that's never going nowhere at this point,
Mm-hmm.
So that's where I am. And if those that couldn't accept it, you got cut off, because your attitude towards it was affecting me and had me questioning, okay, well, I can't do this, knowing dang well I've been running on E,
right.
For days, and
Right.
I'm exhausted. I really don't have the energy to give you anything.
Right.
If I'm gonna give myself to my friend, I want to be able to genuinely give it, and not be thinking about, oh wow, we've been having 45 minutes and we're ready to go now.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
which that was the case. I would go out and I'm like, all right, I'm ready to go home now.
I could relate for sure. For sure. Listen, we got two types of people in our lives, right? We got people that see where you're going in your life, they see your success, they see your journey, and they're inspired by it. And then you have others that see your journey, they see your success, and they're envious of it, right? So the people that we find out that are envious, we want to eliminate those people out of our lives, right? Because eventually that envy is going to swell up, and it'll turn into hatred, it'll turn into jealousy, and it'll become a toxic relationship. All right, so listen, I don't have nothing else. You got anything else to say, man? I ain't got nothing else.
With toxic people.
Cut ties with toxicity, right?
Because regardless of whether you want to believe it or not, it affects your attitude, it affects your mood.
Absolutely.
It do. Especially like friends, like friendships and family are very important, two important things in your life.
Mm-hmm.
So if those, two things in your life are toxic or not supportive and loving, and you still have them around, in some way you're compromising in a negative way.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's a such thing as a negative compromise. That's a negative compromise.
Yeah.
And that's a no-go. Like, God, people talk about, God will give you peace and joy. He's not granting that to you while you can't compromise in a positive way, or you can't do a simple thing as cutting ties with people that and that you've seen God show you, like, it has no good intentions for you. It's just a toxic, negative, envious thing. Let them go.
Let them go. L-I-G, Reggie. Let it go. Let it go. Listen, we love y'all. We appreciate y'all. Like, comment, subscribe, share.
Turn on post notifications.
Turn on the post notifications.
Every single time that we post.
Every Monday, approximately 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll see y'all next week, family. Love for your hearts.
Peace and blessings. Bye.